The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Your turn on 1330 WEBY, Northwest Florida's talk radio. The phone lines are open, so call in and join the conversation at 623-1330.
Welcome back to Freedom Friday with Carl Gallup. Sit down, buckle up, and hang on.
All right, welcome back, America. Welcome back, world. You are listening to Freedom Friday, and we've got Mike Zullo on the line with us. Listen, before we go any further, I've got to give a shout-out to the local yokel, the folks at Claude, Melanie Duvall, the folks at the local yokel at the corner of U.S. Highway 90 East and Ward Basin Road, right here in Santa Rosa County, Northwest Florida. That's where our station broadcasts from. Of course, we broadcast to 4 states along the Gulf Coast, stream live over the net and over your smartphone, and we're posted all over the Internet through the P.P. Simmons properties. And the local yokel, they help to make all of that happen, so you can thank them for that. They're a convenience store, a gas station, a deli, a car wash, corner of U.S. Highway 90 East, Ward Basin Road, Santa Rosa County. The local yokel, Claude and Melanie Duvall. You folks that are here in the local area, do business with them and thank them for what you're hearing today, because they are a part of disseminating truth to the world. God bless the local yokel. All right, Mike Zullo, listen, let me look at the board. Okay, I see that. We've got just enough time to deal with some things that I think a lot of folks have, tuned in to hear. First of all, let me just set you up. Let me just ask you a couple things. Just recently, now if I say anything wrong, you correct me, so I'm just going to try to set you up so that you can speak accurately. But it's my understanding that just recently, in the last couple of days, that you have come across even more evidence, new evidence, more evidence that just puts the nail in the coffin on this thing. I mean, it's just 1,000% a forgery. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. This is going to be hands down very easy for someone to come to the conclusion. It is a 100% forgery. It has been, I can't even say meticulously, it has been haphazardly put together. It is so evident, so easy to see, and this new information we have just solidifies it.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. The next question I'll throw your way is it not true that there are several VIPs, very important people of standing, people of in powerful positions that have seen the evidence and or are making arrangements to see it, but they know about it and are speaking very seriously with you about helping to move this along to a criminal investigation level, at a level that something could actually happen? Is that true?
That's true, Carl. I just cannot speak to that in any length.
I know you can't, and but that's why I was couching it in very, very general terms. But so, folks, I want you to know there is a plan of action in the works. New authorities are involved and or are promising to get involved, and we cannot say who or at what level, but they are people of standing and very important people. And just in the last couple of days, new evidence has come to light that just seals the deal. The deal was already sealed, but this new evidence came to light from a very legally credible source that said, oh my gosh, look what we just found. And they are now, Lieutenant Zullo, Sheriff Arpaio, they are now in possession of that evidence. So is it not true, Mike, that when VIPs step forward at federal levels, state levels, and they come to you and say, look, all right, we're ready to get something done, is it not true that you have in your possession the case they need? It's done, it's wrapped up, you've got a bow around it, you've got a gift for any VIP that wants to be the hero of the United States of America and go down in history as being the hero of the United States of America. You've got a gift for them, don't you?
I do, Carl, and I'm just going to, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I'm going to say it now without going into a lot of detail. I want your listeners to understand that the work that we did over the last 15, 16 months has been verified.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's how strong it is.
It has been verified. Thank you. That's a good way to say it. Yeah. All right. Gosh, I've got so many questions in my mind that I wanted to run by. Oh, another one. So tell people how they can donate. Now, this is not paid for with taxpayer dollars. This is paid for totally, this investigation and moving it forward. I mean, your travel expenses, everything is paid for by people who donate. And you're anticipating some big travel expenses coming up because we think that here very soon some big things are going to happen. So tell folks how they can donate.
Yeah, the Cold Case Posse is a 501c3. It's a non-profit organization, and everything that we do in this investigation, we have to find a way to fund it. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office cannot use funds to fund this investigation. As such, we have a website set up. It's www.ncsoccp.org. I believe they could also go to PP Simmons, and there's a link there. If we can get $10 or $15, if we got $10 or $15 from everybody listening to us right now, it would be more than enough money to get us to where we have to go.
Right.
And hopefully bring this to some kind of conclusion.
Right. Folks, you can go to PP Simmons' Facebook. You can go to carlgallops.com/Obama. Just do that, /Obama. carlgallops.com/Obama. It'll redirect you immediately to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office Cold Case Posse site. And he said it was MCSOCCP, and that stands for Maricopa County Sheriff's Office Cold Case Posse, MCSOCCP.org. But we do need, I don't get any donations, but they do need donations because that's the money they use to operate, and this is getting so close. Well, Mike, of course I know the details, you know the details, we cannot share all the details, but if the people we're talking, that you're talking to right now, and I mean just in the last 48 hours you've had some deep and serious conversations and follow-up conversations, plus, there are people I'm getting ready to out as well, but the people you're talking to are people who are sticking with this. They've made promises. They're following through so far, and if they continue to follow through, you look for something pretty big to bust on this relatively soon. Can we give any hint at all about a general time frame so that people can be kind of looking at?
Carl, that's always an iffy proposition. I can say within the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
It just things, the wheels of justice turn slowly.
I know.
And we have a lot of work to do ahead of us just there. And if that does happen, there's a lot of work to do after that happens.
That's true. But there is a definitive plan of action in the works with some people of standing who can make it happen. They're making the promises, and they know what you have. They know you're getting ready to hand them a gift, and we're excited about that. Am I right?
Yes, I am, very much so.
Yeah, okay. And so, folks, that's because this is a criminal investigation. Mike can't get on here and give you names and times and dates and places and offices and titles. He can't do that. You understand that. Our listeners know that. This is serious. This is of national concern. Somebody might ask me, Carl, why are you going to out this poor dude that lied to you? Well, because I'm tired of playing, folks. This is national security. This goes to our constitutional republic. I want our constitutional public preserved. There has been a crime committed in and around the White House. We've got 100% proof of it. I want to know who did it and why, because I want to know who the commander-in-chief is. And that's where I stand on this. So this is not going away unless somebody brings 100% evidence forward, legal evidence to show us that, look, everything is perfectly legal. And that's your heart as well, isn't it, Mike?
It is. I can tell you, though, with certainty that there is no one that's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I know. I guess that's why I can be so bold saying that.
Let me just say one other thing.
Yeah. You take the rest of the time. Say whatever you want.
You and I had the privilege while we were at CPAC. We took, before our flight Sunday morning back, we had the privilege of going to Mount Vernon.
Oh.
We had the privilege of standing in the same bedroom looking at the same bed that George Washington passed away in.
Yep.
We got to see a closer view of the man. Yep. Then we got to go to the Lincoln Memorial, and we saw the Washington Monument, and we saw the White House, and we were in the Capitol. You have to really put this into perspective. A sitting president is no longer a private citizen.
Right.
A sitting president, once he gets into that exclusive club, he is now part of a chain of history that goes all the way back to George Washington.
Right.
And if you go back in time, every sitting president was transparent about records, places of birth, anything that they were asked. It was there, and it was easy for anyone to see.
Yep.
This is the only time that I could recall that it's happened this way,
Yep.
where everything has been secretive and shoved away out of sight.
Yeah, and threats have been made, and disinformation campaigns have ensued. And Mike, I got to tell our listeners this, because you and I were blown away. So we're at Mount Vernon, and we've been through the estate. We're in the bedroom where Washington died. We're in his house. We're overwhelmed by all this. We walk back down to the museum, and there's an elderly gentleman there who's been, guiding tours, etc. And I asked him, I said, well, I think you asked him, and then you told him to repeat it. That's right. You asked him first. Has Barack Obama visited Mount Vernon? And the man looked at me and Lieutenant Zullo and said, he's the only president in U.S. history who's never set foot on this property.
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
Mike and I were so ashamed. It just blew us away. The guy almost cried when he said it. He's the only president in U.S. history who has never set foot on Mount Vernon property. But Mike and I know why, we think. Let me speak for myself here, Mike, because I want to keep you at the highest professional level. Because when you're there, all you see and hear about is character, character, character. I think I know why Obama has not been there. Mike Zullo, thank you for being a part of the show today. I know we're going to do more shows like this as it moves along, because some big stuff's getting ready to happen.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks for having me. God bless.
God bless you as well. Folks, you've been listening to Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups, Mallory Bardwell, your world-famous producer. Mike Zullo's been on for the last hour and a half. Ted Schubach before that. Go to carlgallups.com tomorrow. Download the podcast. Plus, over the next couple of days, I know Mike Shoesmith, the P.P. Simmons Facebook and YouTube and Blogspot Ministries, will be uploading this entire show. It'll be all over the Internet. Plus, again, you can get it at carlgallups.com.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.